Hello and welcome to the Half Acre Ranch, where the birds love to sing and it's always green. I'll be taking you on some adventures here at our little half acre ranch. It's technically 6/10 of an acre, but close enough. And we were having a conversation via text the other day and joking about our property, and one of my daughters said, I have a name for your place. You should call it the Half Acre Ranch. And I like that. And really, technically, I would say it's not a ranch because we don't have any animals, but that's okay. We're going to call it the Half Acre Ranch anyway. So today, we're going to go take a look at our compost. All right, so as promised, here we are back at my compost pile. If you hear sounds in the background, they're re-roofing there, so sorry if that's loud. And you may be wondering, that's your compost? What are all those plants doing growing in there? But we'll come back to that. But you can see all of this material, tree material over this way, wondering what's that about. So we had an old, I believe it was a maple tree in our front yard, and we decided to have it cut down. We kept the wood. Well, probably wasn't the wisest idea, because you can see over here, these are some remnants of the wood. I was out here about several days ago and I was noticing, man, this stuff is starting to really decompose. And if you notice over there on the bottom left, right here, you can see that some of the wood had been up against the shed, so it discolored it because it was getting all full of, it was decomposing and you know, and fungus and all that sort of stuff. And so I separated out. I said, we got to get this stuff away from all this rotting material, away from the building. It's not a good thing, all the decomposing stuff here. So now we have all this material over here. That's the least exciting part. So let's get over here. Those of you who are gardeners will recognize those are squash plants growing. So this will be the third year in a row that I've had volunteer squash plants grow up out of my compost. This year was a little bit more on purpose because I think it was about 2 months ago. I came out here. I had some winter squash, and I had the seeds. I thought, let me just put them on the top of the compost pile and see what happens. And lo and behold, I actually have too many growing. I'm going to have to weed this, thin them out, I should say, because I got too many here. And then I came to talk about, lo and behold, the other day I came out and I was looking and I said, oh wow, we have a tomato plant growing. Whoops, right there. So here's the tomato plant. I thought that's super cool. Last year we had a volunteer tomato plant grow up out of our compost, and it was this big red beefsteak tomatoes. They were really yummy. So what I'm going to do right now though is I have to thin. It's so hard, isn't it? I don't want to thin the plants, but squash gets so massive and they'll do better if I thin them. I think I probably have maybe, I don't know, 6 or 8 plants there. This one's front I'm keeping. It's a big one. And then I'm going to thin them out. I'll be right back. So I pulled 13 squash plants. I didn't know I had so many. So my experiment worked. Scattering squash seed and the top of my compost, I just kind of covered it over. It looks like I get some like grass clippings over. I don't even remember because we just throw everything in here. And I still have, so this one over here, the one I showed you was in front, that one's a keeper obviously, right? It's blossoming, it's the biggest one. And I think I have like 6 or 8 here. So what I'm going to do, that's another experiment I'm going to try, is I'm going to leave them. Probably I should, you know, really thin it right now. I thought, well, let me see which one decides to get really big. And then when I thin even more, I might have to be careful and just cut the ones I'm getting rid of right at the ground level. So I don't want to pull and then you damage the ones I'm keeping. But anyway, so that's the adventures in my compost. I'm going to wrap it up for today. Thanks for joining me.